Death by stereo. Death by stereo.
Hello there, fellow Radiant Stars. Razzle Joestar here with a tutorial on noise removal for Audacity. I see a lot that do noise removal, and it seems very basic 101, which no slight to those, any creator that does stuff like that. But what if you're like me, right? And you have an HVAC unit that's like right outside your window and is loud. You'll hear it in the test recording I've got set up here. And you want to remove that because I've combed a lot of Reddit threads, a lot of posts, a lot of things. And the general thing kind of just seems like either you've got to screw around with the recording for aeons and aeons, or you're just boned, deal with it, game over, live with it. Now, this isn't going to be a tutorial to help you get this like super crisp, high definition professional. Like if you're doing audiobooks or something like that, this isn't really going to work for you. This is more for like if you're like me and you're kind of just like a YouTuber trying to learn the ropes and you're going to be having like sounds and stuff in the background anyways, to just kind of make your recordings a bit more serviceable, if you get what I mean. So let's get started. First, you're going to want to grab Audacity if you don't have it already. This is the tool that we're going to be using. Audacity here. It's available for Windows and Mac. The tool that I'm going to be using, OpenVINO AI, fortunately doesn't seem available yet for Linux. Now, I know AI is a bit of a four-letter word with a lot of creatives, but this is what I like to call, I guess, auxiliary AI. Yeah, there's music generation, but I don't use that. And you can choose what gets installed when you install it, because when you download it, it's an installation file, and it guides you through how to get it set up. You can choose what tools you want installed exactly. We're going to be using the noise suppression tool, right? So nothing that's generative, nothing that's language model, none of that stuff. So let's go back to our test recording. So we got a test recording here. So what we're going to do is hold Control or Command for Mac users and hit A to highlight the entire track. You can also click off the track here like this. No, not like that, like this, and that'll highlight the whole thing. Then hold down Control, hit D, and that makes a duplicate track. Then we're going to mark solo. So what that does is it makes a duplicate track. We can mess around with this as much as we want. If we run into too much trouble, too much to undo, we can delete this and start over. Solo means that only this track will be heard, and this track will be edited when we use any of our tools. Let's also come down here. You see the little arrow guy turn into double arrows. Click and drag down. And you can see that waveform a bit better. Let's give this a listen. Preferably listen with headphones. If not, that's fine too. Howdy, Radiant Stars. This is a test recording being done with the HVAC unit on. Hopefully you can't hear it even with headphones on, but we'll see. We got the recording level at 85%, mode 1 on the Blue Snowball microphone. Yeah, that big loud hum you hear in the background, that's the HVAC unit. I made sure to record this specifically when that sucker was on. So what are we going to do? Well, first, we're going to make sure the whole track is selected. So Control A, or well, yeah, Control A, because we're muted, so it should affect that. And then we're going to go to Effect. Well, actually, yeah, we're going to go to Effect. And what we're going to do first is we're actually going to filter curve EQ this track, which I use for my recordings in general. In fact, I'm going to use these steps on the recording you're hearing now for the video. This is like equalizer settings. You can see the little dots here, here, and here. Well, what I'll do is I'll freeze on the video here for a quick second, or like leave it like this while I talk. And I'm also going to throw together an Imgur folder, set, whatever, gallery that'll have screenshots of these settings so you guys can easily look at them and copy them into your own Audacity. Right? So let's go ahead and hit apply. And you'll see this gets a lot bigger. This is going to help us out when we use our noise reduction tools. We'll take care of the loudness at the very end. So now that we've got it big like this, let's make sure that the track is still selected. You can kind of see because there's that like dark blue highlight around. Like if I go like this, that dark blue highlight goes away. But if we go like this, we can see that it's still selected. So let's go to Effect, OpenVINO AI Effects, and we're going to go to Noise Suppression. This pops up. Now, normally, Advanced Options is unchecked by default. This is basically how hard you want this to go. So if you want a noise removal, but you want to leave certain things in like keyboard clacks or joystick clicks, you might want to adjust this a little bit to get it just right. But for the purposes of the video, we'll just do 100. We'll set it to default filter net 3, and we'll hit apply. And it's off to the races. It's a short track, so it's not going to take too long to get done. But for longer videos, of, like, say, an hour and a half, like for my DELTARUNE Undertale videos, that's going to take a bit. that's a few minutes, not just quick seconds. So let's listen. Howdy, Radiant Stars. This is a test recording being done with the HVAC unit on. Hopefully you can't hear it, even with headphones on, but we'll see. We got the recording level at 85%, mode 1 on the Blue Snowball microphone. So you can still kind of hear a little bit of hum in the background, a little bit of that, especially right here. Right? If we click and we drag, we can highlight that part, and you kind of get a bit of noise there. What can we do about that? This is when we use the normal noise suppression. See, that AI noise removal, especially for a HVAC or loud noise in the background, it's a good start, but we can take it further. And again, you can kind of tell why I said this is going to be good for audiobook recording. You still can kind of hear a little bit of a hum, a little bit of noise in the background there. But it's a good starting point, and it's good to at least greatly reduce that to make it a lot more bearable. So let's go to Effect, and we're going to come down to Noise Removal and Repair, and we're going to hit that Noise Reduction. So I have mine set to 10, 2, and 6. Again, I'll have a little bigger thing saved so you can look at it. And we're going to go click Noise Profile, or click Get Noise Profile, telling Audacity that this is what we want it to use as a sample for the background noise. Let's highlight the entire track, and we're going to hold Control Command R. We'll see it go to town. Now, you notice that it kind of reduced there, and let's have another listen. Howdy, Radiant Stars. This is a test recording being done with the HVAC unit on. Hopefully you can't hear it, even with headphones on, but we'll see. We got the recording level at 85%, mode 1 on the Blue Snowball microphone. And you can see that it's actually pretty good at this point. If you're at least trying to do, again, basic YouTube videos, we could stick a fork in it and call it done. As far as that goes. Of course, people who are kind of a little bit more expert level on this could probably take this, maybe put it in something else and take it even further. But you still kind of hear that in the background, even with the noise suppression, noise removal being used. So what do we do from here? Well, first let's select the entire track. Let's go to Effects. Let's come down to EQ and, not EQ and filters, volume and compression, and we're going to go to the loudest normalize. We're going to normalize, and I have the peak amplitude set to minus 2.0 dB, and we're just going to get the apply key. And you notice it shrinks down quite a bit. Let's listen again. Howdy, Radiant Stars. This is a test recording being done with the HVAC unit on. Hopefully you can't hear it, even with headphones on, but we'll see. We got the recording level at 85%, mode 1 on the Blue Snowball microphone. You still kind of have a little bit of noise, a little bit of hum here and there, but if you're just doing like walkthrough videos or tutorial videos or like, gameplay videos, I think it's serviceable enough, at least if you're trying to get started, and if you're on the back foot like me and you don't have a way to make a booth, you don't have a way to keep things quiet, you don't have the best equipment or the best sound engineering software available, this can at least get your audio to a bearable amount, especially if you're listening on the desktop. If you have headphones on, take your headphones off, put your regular laptop or desktop speakers back on, listen to that again. It sounds pretty passable, and sometimes that's all you can really do. This kind of point of this tutorial is kind of give you that, well, if you're in a situation where it's not optimal, here's something you can do to at least make it a little bit better. So, fellow Radiant Stars and new viewers alike, if you liked what you saw, I got more tutorials that I'll be doing, mostly on things like how to run emulation software like MAME, setting up controls and things like that. And I've started messing around with other software-based tutorials. Like I got a cute little sprite tutorial where we take Rouse, pull them out of a sprite sheet, and get them set up and all ready to go for making YouTube thumbnails if you're that kind of a creator. So until next time, I will see you there. And remember, no matter what anybody says, you are a beautiful star. Take care.